Good afternoon, all the participants. Maybe we will be starting within another 1 or 2 minutes. Waiting for some more participants to join for this event. Maybe another 2 minutes we'll be starting the event. Good afternoon to all the participants. Thank you for joining for this event. Being affected by, all of us are affected by this pandemic, which is really affecting us in our life. Maybe this is a good opportunity for us to share the knowledge and update us with the knowledge about this new technologies Like today, the subject what we are going to discuss is about automation in manufacturing. The main subject, the core subject what we are going to touch up today in this webinar is automation in manufacturing. Parallelly, our experts will be touching on one more part is that word skills mechatronics. That means how the mechatronics skills are used as a word skills competition. So we have experts in word skills by Miss Bhagyashree Madam. Bhagyashree Madam is with me today. So she is going to handle this session for you. And you know that we have some restrictions, rules, and regulations which will be explained by Bhagyashree Madam now for successful conduct and or successful understanding of the content for both of us. So now over to Bhagyashree Madam.
Thank you, Sergeant sir. Good afternoon, all of you once again, and welcome to this session on mechatronics in the field of manufacturing at World Skills Contest by Toyota. As Sergeant sir said, there is a small instruction I want to share with all of you. This is a live event from MS Teams. So you will not be able to have a normal interaction with the audio or video. So all the attendees can drop up their questions or the doubts in Q&A dialog box that is available at the right side corner for all the attendees, so they can put up their questions into that dialog box, which will be attended at the end of the session. And the session, once the session begins, I will be only presenter. So I request everyone to carefully listen and note down your questions and doubts. And later at the end, we have 30 minutes of session for Q&A. That time, everyone can drop their questions and find the answers for themselves. So with this, I would like to start this session talking about mechatronics in the field of manufacturing at World Skill Contest. Yes, please everyone have to be mute. I think this is default. Everyone will be into the mute. And you can log in back if for any reason you find yourself out of the area. You can log in back and use the chat box to drop in your questions. This session, we are actually on delay for 5 to 6 minutes. This will be for 1 hour. And the Q&A we are going to have for 30 minutes after this. So today, these are the points that we are going to discuss. These are the contents that we are going through with this. Industrial revolution, we'll talk about industrial revolution. Then we'll talk about automation, then mechatronics, then world skills. Then we'll also see how Toyota is supporting in all these events. Let's begin with industrial revolution. So what is this industrial revolution? Actually, just if we define in a single sentence, I would say industrial revolution is a fundamental change in the way the goods were produced. Earlier, this production of the goods has been increasing as the population, as the number of human beings has been increasing. So the production of these goods need to be higher at the larger scale, and the fundamental ways that they used before were not being sufficient to produce such a large scale of products. Since there need to be a change in the way of production. That change has resulted in industrial revolution. As in how this change has been formatively doing it, every century we have seen a different addition of changes in the production that resulted in the industrial revolution stage by stage. Let us now see how this industrial revolution has taken place into centuries. If we start, our first revolution was started somewhere in 1760 to 1820, that is 18th century, I would mention. The first revolution happened in the production of the materials or the products when the steam as a resource has been added into the production. As the resources been added, the more energy has been coming up, and more energy has resulted into production of more products. And more products with a more quality and more quantity has kept on increasing and making this revolution happen. In 18th century, there's a second revolution happen in industry when electricity has been added. Because of this electricity, there were lots of machines, equipments started working, and their form of production changed. Then in the 19th century, we found computing. Lots of programming, automatic machines, computing, and the machines which been worked before with electricity now can also have other formalities which can work on their own, can make some decisions on their own, sensors. So all these things started added in third revolution. And today, right now, we are into fourth industrial revolution, which added up the intelligence to all these automatic machines. Yes, what is this intelligence is something we already had this automation unit, but now we also have these machines which can think on their own, decide on their own, process on their own. That is now what presently the revolution is happening. That's called a fourth revolution. So we call it as Industry 4.0. Let me elaborate one of these one by one in small way. If we recall once again, the first industrial revolution began in 18th century. As I mentioned you, human beings need three basic requirements, that is food, shelter, and clothing. The first thing what people have started, as the population started increasing, there was a demand for all these basic requirements. People started producing this requirement and sell this to the people who are in need. So first such industry was formed with the textiles, that is clothing. Food and shelter was not into the first industries, whereas the clothing, which was very basic requirement for all the civilization people to have as their basic life requirement, since that started as an industry. So this clothing industry requirement was fulfilled by creating the thread like a form, which will further convert into cloth. So there used to be a cotton, which they will convert that as a thread using a spinning wheel. The spinning wheel was very manual. A single person can operate this and convert any cotton or any material into a thread. Later, this thread was formed together as a cloth, and this cloth was being used by the people. But in first revolution, what I would say is this spinning wheel was mechanized, and that was being resourced with a steam engine, or with the steam. I would say not exactly engine, with the steam. So because of that, this mechanism and with the steam energy, the volume what the single person would have produced in the spinning wheel increased 8 to 10 times. Now people can produce more threads, more clothes, more production of clothes using the steam. So what I would say is resources, as the energies kept on adding, the production kept on increasing. That fulfilled the demands in the market. And that is what we call it as first revolution, where the steam engine, the steam as a resource has started up. That was its first transformation, I would say. Then what happened next? After a decade, like in the 19th century, what we found is human beings not only had this demand of the three basic things, they also started having different things as their requirement. Like they would have a watch, they would have a tables and furniture at home, or they would have a you know what they say, basic other requirements like radio or a TV, say TV. So all these requirements had started growing up as there was an invention of all these things. People started wanting to take those things. And when there is a more demand for these things, obviously there should be someone who will produce these things in a bulk. So again, there was a need for a machine or something which can help me to produce this in a bulk. If a person stands and do it, then the time what it takes will be very high. And the accuracy and the quality what it takes will also be different. So the persons who want to produce in a bigger scale started thinking what we can do such a way that suppose I have a radio and been invented by a scientist and now people want to take it in a market. I have to produce 1,000 number of radios. How can I do that in an efficient way in which I can also profit and people will also get a good quality radio? So that is when the second revolution has begun. People started inventing the electrical automation units. Not exactly automation, I can say only electrical machines. A small electrical hand tools or a small machines which can make this process bit easier. I can say a small electric drill. So you can see some process happening in the picture there. So they are trying to add something in that, right? So this can be done using the electrical drill. So that can give a more accuracy and can make the work faster. So that's how the next revolution happened. The industry, the mass production started happening and they started adding small electrical devices and machines which can help to make this process easier and with a good quality. That happened in the 19th century. Obviously, that was not still good enough for us. There was still more things happening, more things invented, like we got a motorcycle, we got a cycle, we got this car, automobile, we got smart TVs, we got a phones. So more the invention happens, obviously they comes into the market and obviously people want to purchase them. And if they have to be purchased, there should be a mass production. And if the device is more smarter, then obviously the one which produce should also be more smarter. So that is when this third revolution happened, where things started to convert into automation. Lots of different technologies has been invented in this revolution. For an example, if you understand easily, I would say robot or a PLC or automation lines. So these are things invented as they wanted to produce the process faster without the human interference, without much assistance of a human, so that the quality will remain same, so that the mass production should happen easier. So this is when happened for third century or third industrial revolution, 20th century. That is nearly what we are facing. Maybe this is probably the time that we are seeing right now. But this is also the time that we are seeing the different changes. So we'll discuss about that changes in next slides. So I would like to elaborate something more about automation here, because this is the century where we started the automation, the third revolution. I can say we are also at the end verge of the third revolution. We are starting with the fourth revolution of industry. So obviously we should be very well known about what third revolution has come up with, right? So let us just briefly understand what this automation is. See, automation, I would say, is just adding an intelligence to a process. See, if you want to produce any product with the same quality time after time, maybe large number of products with the same qualities time after time, years after year, then you probably need a process that should be automated with some machines so that we can avoid the human errors and we can also get the efficiency with a lesser time. That's automation. Every product that you want to produce needs a process. Even if you cook, there is a process. How you do the cooking, there is a process, right? So similarly, whatever we want to produce, there needs a process. And the same process, if we automate using any devices which can work on its own without human interference, that is industrial automation. For your better understanding, I'm just playing a small video which can explain you something more about
what exactly does automation mean? Automation is the use of largely automatic equipment in a system of manufacturing or other production process. This typically includes the use of PLCs, sensors, robots, and motors, among many other things, depending on the automated process. Almost any process can become automated. It can save time and money to automate an industrial process. It also helps eliminate human error. Another upside is that the use of automation creates many high-paying careers for maintenance workers, engineers, and programmers. A simple everyday example of automation would be an ordinary pull-in and park automatic car wash. If we break it down step by step, it should help you understand how automation works. Once you select your wash, that input will run a certain program on the controller. Next, you drive forward until a sensor is flagged, starting the wash cycle, and another sensor tells the driver when to stop. From there, the wash will continue through the cycle that the controller is running. In a typical car wash, the nozzle spraying the water and chemicals will travel alongside a vehicle, and a sensor will detect when it is past the vehicle. This saves time, water, and chemicals by controlling when the nozzles spray, as well as serves as an input to advance to the next step of the wash. Once the car is sprayed, the program tells the wash to spray the next chemical. This is done by the controller turning on and off each pump as it's needed. The controller then runs through the rest of the cycle and wash that was selected in the beginning. Once all steps have been completed, the driver will be signaled to pull out of the wash. Essentially, the only human intervention in the process is the driver selecting what wash they want. Industrial automation works exactly the same way. Each industrial process needs to be started by some sort of input. That input can be a sensor, push button, switch, among many other possibilities. Typically, a person will start the process with one of these input devices, or it could be a sensor that detects an object automatically. Those inputs will go to a PLC, which will then make decisions based on how it was programmed. The PLC will then activate whatever output the program says to run. An output can be anything that does work, such as a motor, solenoid, heater, or a light. In an automated process, that output will typically be programmed as an input to the PLC and combined with other input devices or programming to keep the process running. With this programming, it can act like a chain reaction with one output device starting before the next is allowed to run. This is also called sequential starting. Automation has to have many aspects working together in order to function properly. An automated process will continue its cycle until it receives a stop signal. That can come from a physical input, such as a stop button or sensor, or something programmed like a timer. Let's look back at what we now know. Automation is an automatic process, typically controlled by computers and sensors. There is usually very little human intervention. Input devices, such as sensors and switches, will work with a controller or PLC to activate output devices like motors or other machinery. The PLC will advance as it was programmed. Industrial robots are great examples of process automation, as they are commonly being used to replace humans in pallet loading operations.
Yes. I hope now you can get some idea how the industrial automation really means. This is what presently happening, that is in Industry 3.0. Let us just
What
understand what is Industry 4.0 then. That's the next revolution that we are saying will happen in coming days. Rather, I must say it's already started happening. So this Industry 4.0 is not much different than 3.0. Again, we have the same automation stations, automation units, robots and machines. Only thing I can say is now all these robots and automation machines, all of them are connected to each other. They communicate with each other. We can get the data of each and every device. What they are doing, how are they doing, is there any issue, is there any error? Every such information can be viewed from any point of time and from anywhere. This connectivity together is what we say right now as an Industry 4.0. So production systems that already have computer technology are expanded by a network connection and will have a digital twin on internet, so to speak. So the networking of all the systems is going to lead for the cyber physical production, and therefore the smart factories in which the production systems, components and the people communicate via a network, and the production is nearly automation. So Industry 3.0 is going to be converting to 4.0 in coming decades, where a complete factory is going to be converting to a smart factory, where each and every device is going to communicate with each other without the interference of human beings and produce the products completely autonomous. This is what I would brief about Industrial Revolution. Then let us now understand, will this have any impact on the engineers, present engineers, on our job profiles or our future? Yes, definitely this is going to have an impact. And I would say the impact is going to happen such a way that we need to learn new skills. We need to learn the skills which will help to work with these industrial new revolutionary equipments or the devices or the systems. So I would like to now describe something more about mechatronics. You'll understand why I'm talking about this later. See, mechatronics is an integration of mechanical engineering with electronics and also intelligent computer control. So this is a content, or this is a subject or a trade, I must say, which involves lots of other discipline. It is not specialized with one subject or a trade. This have the mixture of 2 to 3, or I must say 4 to 5. This is a subject that will be helpful for anyone to understand the automation, work with the automation and commission the automation. Because every automation have these contents. No automation unit can work without electronics, without computer or without mechanical. Every automation have all these things together working in one unit. Then obviously we need a person in future who can work with all these three things together. Because it's very difficult for the future peoples to arrange the member of different stream to come together and work for one single machine. It is more difficult. So if one person know all these 3 or 4 trades together, he can work with that machine easily. That is what the next coming, the one who create the factories or the machines. Those are the person who think about this like this. Instead of investing on 4 to 5 engineers, they can invest on one engineer who can do all these 3 things together. So that's what is the impact I was talking about. This revolution is coming up. So as this revolution is growing, there will be a demand of the people who can work with the different cross-discipline boundaries, who will not be stick on to single subject or a single content or a single concept. They should be versatile to work with electronics, mechanics, softwares, control, CAD, control circuits, system modeling, simulation, any of this. And all this together combination is one trade that I would say is the mechatronics. That is why now lots of people try to opt for this training. The students who are now participating can be of the different trades. Please don't be disheartened that if you have not started with your career with mechatronics. Don't be disheartened for this, because this is not something that you need to have a complete course. You can still start now. There are lots of short-term and very little courses with a short durations, which any engineers can adopt and learn and help themselves to be into this automation unit and get a good placing for that. So I would like to give a small hints on some of the trainings that are available with us in TKM, that is Toyota Kirloskar Motor Bangalore. We provide a training for mechatronics basics for 16 hours. Then we also have pneumatics, hydraulics, robotics basics, PLC. So these all elaborate up to 16 to 40 hours of training. As I said, any trade engineer can participate this, learn this, and can be part of automation, can be part of industrial revolution. This is not so difficult. Any engineer who can think about logic can adopt this. And I understand all these trainings presently in this pandemic is difficult, and you must be worried how you can be attending. Thankfully, we also have the virtual trainings available for all these subjects, so that you can be versatile with these subjects and cope up good with your futures in coming days. We also have this elaborated trainings on pneumatics and PLCs, which will be for longer hours. Definitely this needs a hands-on training. So I must say, during pandemic, you can only start up with a virtual right now, but later we are always open for the elaborated training. Okay. So now let us have a small discussion on something called world skills. I'm not very sure that everyone have heard about this, but here today I'm talking about this because the mechatronics skill what I spoke is related to automation, and automation is related to industrial revolution, and industrial revolution is something that we have to live with for coming centuries. We have to find our job roles into this revolution. Since definitely we have to talk about all this together. But I would like to say this, there is not only the revolution or the job profile or the future that we are talking about. There is a field, there is a platform called World Skills, the world's biggest platform, which identifies the best skilled peoples in vocational trainings. The picture that you can see right now is just an image of the inauguration program of the World Skills. This is exactly the same program that we happen to see in the Olympics of sports. So this is something called Olympics of Skills. We have many countries participating in this. Let us see a small video. I think that can give you some idea how this exactly look like and how huge this is.
Privyet, Salam, hello and welcome to the 45th World Skills Competition.
I promise that we will officiate
наши обязанности с полной беспристрастностью.
That skills change lives. Make new friends and create lasting memories. And of course, enjoy yourselves.
45-й мировой чемпионат по профессиональному мастерству по стандарту WorldSkills объявляю открытым.
I hope some of you have just seen how big or how huge it is. Yes, it is exactly as big as we see in sports Olympics. Yes, it is also called as a skill Olympics. It happens biannually every event, and it started in 1950. Presently, we have 75 member countries as a participants and 1,300 competitors for 57 skills. See, 57 number of skills are being added in this. And every skill have one competitor. Some of the skill have two competitors, like Mechatronics. There are two competitors in one team. And the age limit for this competition is 22. And some skills have age limit of 25, which also includes the Mechatronics. So here I would like to say, Mechatronics is one of the most popular skill in WorldSkills. That's why its number rating is number 4. Many of the countries participate in this, like among 50 countries, 75 countries, we have around 40 countries participating for Mechatronics. And the age limit is 25 because the skill that we are going to talk about is not an easy one. And also the Mechatronics have two people to work together because, as I said this skill is not about one subject or the one content. It have multiple subjects and multiple content. And obviously we need more hands to work together. That's why we have two people working in this. Let me just show you a small video which can give you some more idea about the skills that are involved into the WorldSkills.
The future exists for those who know how to do, who have the theoretical and practical knowledge of procedures. Millions of young people across the world have chosen the vocational training and qualification path to get there. WorldSkills International believes, above all, in vocational education as a tool for development and social change. Through several initiatives, it seeks to motivate young people, parents, teachers, employers, and experts to consider trends and create strategies for vocational education. Every 2 years, WorldSkills International promotes the biggest skills competition in the world. WorldSkills competition brings together young professionals and experts from more than 50 countries with a view to encourage the exchange of experiences and consequently the vocational education evolution. WorldSkills competition. A competition based on motivation and recognition of young people's talent. An unparalleled opportunity of exchange for thousands of young people and experts. A powerful tool of technical development for young people and the education systems of all countries. In 1950, the first international competition was held with the participation of 12 young professionals from Spain and 12 from Portugal. In subsequent years, the number of participating countries has continuously increased. Today, World Skills International involves 67 member countries. World Skills Competition, the largest hands-on vocational education encounter where the highest standards of performance are presented to the world. An activity that promotes the strengthening of industry, trade, and services of participating countries. An initiative held in cooperation and partnership among institutions, governments, and private initiatives. In 4 days of competition, more than 1,000 young competitors plan and perform the tasks proposed in their trades for evaluation by experts from all over the world. Educators, students, and representatives from governments, industry, trade, and service sectors visit the workstations observing new talents and technologies. Recognition is given to competitors who always seek the greatest degree of perfection in the entire process, and to institutions and countries that invest in vocational education. World Skills International, because it is fundamental to make the world aware that vocational education is the most effective way to promote success for young people and their nations. World Skills International, promoting skills across the world.
Yes, that is about the world skills. So let me just tell you something what India is into world skills. The participation of the Indian team in the world skills every year, event after event, is been increasing. But still, I must say, the strength that we have, the youth strength and the talent that we have in India, this count is really less. It must be because of a lack of awareness or a lack of confidence to face it, or maybe there is no training support. So through this forum, I would like to tell all of you that this is one of the world's best recognition for the skill. And you need not to be trained completely only on the specific skill. You can start from where you are. I would like to share some more details about mechatronics skill in world skills that may give you some hint that how and when you can start for this. And before we go for that, I would also share a few very good things that had happened to India. Year after year, we started getting more recognition, more medals. In the recent competition of 2019 Kazan, we bagged gold, silver, and bronze medals with Medallion Excellence. Medallion Excellence is the award for the best performance. And that count has been doing very well. And our small contribution from Toyota Kirloskar Motor. We started participating in 2015 where we won 1 medallion. Then in 17 we won 1 bronze with 1 medallion. And in 19 again in medallion for mechatronics kids. We started mechatronics participation from 2017. And from 2 competitions we have been getting Medallion of Excellence. I would like to show one more video, but the best one ever. This is a video of the Indian team participating in World Skills Kazan.
वर्ल्ड स्किल 2019 आप सब प्रस्थान करें, सफल हो, इस कामना के साथ बहुत सबको नमस्कार, सबको शुभकामनाएं, धन्यवाद।
Welcome to Kazan. Welcome to Russia. Welcome to the 43rd competition.
Every one of you is a champion. Savor every moment. And of course, enjoy yourselves.
Please welcome India.
По стандарту WorldSkills объявляю открытым.
Welcome to the closing ceremony of WorldSkills Kazan.
Спасибо Татарстану, спасибо Казани.
I hope that video has come up with some inspiration for all of you. I just want you all to see these participants. They were all just like you, engineering students or the students studying in the colleges. They were all the same, but they could reach to that stage. And if they could, then you could also. Just you have to be keen on what you want to do. We are here to guide you how to reach to that. This not only can give you a good platform to recognition, can also give a good life for you because it involves lots of good things. Let me just tell you something more about mechatronics skills that we participate. We also participate in prototype modeling and car painting and automobile technology. I would like to explain more on mechatronics so that the students, if they are interested to this skill, how they can participate into WorldSkills. So in WorldSkills, the mechatronics is about building automated systems for industry using mechanics, electronics, pneumatics, and computer technology. And the technicians who participate in the WorldSkills are expected to design, to build, to commission, maintain, repair, and adjust the automated industrial equipments. This is the expectation that a technician is supposed to have to do it. And how this is being examined in the WorldSkills through different skills or the different tasks that they give for the competitors. I'd like to give a brief introduction on that for all of you. So in the WorldSkills, there will be 5 different tests given, and these tests will be given on something called MPS stations. These are the modular production stations. So these are something I would say automation stations in a miniature form. See, obviously this mechatronics skill is about creating an automation production line, but we cannot do that into the factory directly, since these automation units and the technologies are miniaturized and formed in a small station called MPS stations, modular production stations. And we are supposed to build the automation using these stations. And such 4 stations will be given in 5 different tasks for the world skills. And obviously, if we want to reach the world skills, we have to cross lots of levels starting from district level in India. Then you can cross to state, then regionals, then you go for India skills. After that, there will be a final selection. Then there will be a world skills. For district level, the contents that we see upon is pneumatics and electrical wiring. Please listen to these contents very carefully. These are not something that you can't learn. Even if you are from the different trades, these can be learned very easily. So state, we have to go for a PLC and electropneumatics. From regionals, we'll have these automation stations to be built up. And the level of complication keep increasing from there onwards. A small description, this pneumatics is about the air, compressed air. It's engineering related to the compressed air and the components. And the skill that we are searching into the people is about circuit analyzing, formation, components, practical connections, working principles. If you are aware about the pneumatics, just see if the skill that I have mentioned is something that you know. If you don't know any of this, that can be developed very easily. And electrical wiring, it's about the electrical installation and the cabling. And here we see about analyzing standards of wiring, components working, use of tools, and cutting and crimping of the cables. PLC, a very popular content, I would say. Programmable logic controller is a special computer which can make this automation possible. It's a control system. And here the skill that we see is they should be able to program, create and logic. They should be able to communicate and also work with the different types of inputs and outputs. And electropneumatics is again the part of a pneumatics combined with electrical wirings. That's electropneumatics, which makes the automation possible. Then the modular production system. This is what I was telling about. This is a miniature industrial relevance automation units. This combines all the content that I talked till now. Pneumatics, electropneumatics, electrical wiring, commissioning, and PLC. Together forms one station. And if anybody able to form this station, then he is a mechatronic engineer or he is automation engineer. Irrespective of what trade they start with, these subjects can be learned whenever they want. I would like to show a small video which can give you a small hint how this modular station exactly looks like. This is one of the world skills production station produced by the competitors from Toyota Kirloskar. There is an automation operation happening and we have lots of actuators, electrical and pneumatic actuators performing an operation. And we have this RFID read tag which have been processed. The small units that you see are the small workpieces. Here you can see the RFID has been reading the unit and that also see what is the content available and they decide the process. There is also a microprocessor chip involved in this, which will be written into some data using the special device called chip writer. So we have a HMI screen. We also have a display screen which shows the process, how long the process has completed. So all these involve software, computer language. We have a pneumatics, electropneumatics, electrical wiring. If you see some of the wirings that is being displayed, that's also electrical wiring. HMI screens. You can see different operations for the different jobs. And that is decided by the RFID tag which is there in the box. We have different analog sensors also here, like depth sensor, vacuum sensor. We have electrical conveyor with a controller which controls the speed and the direction of the conveyor. All these content together forms one automation line. And mechatronic engineer will be taught to form this complete commission. This is mechatronics in WorldSkills. We also provide a training for WorldSkills mechatronics in our company, Toyota Kirloskar Motors. We start with the basic training from pneumatics, then we teach about PLC and also about the MPS stations. Presently, we also have a virtual training available for the pneumatics and PLC trainings. For MPS and the advanced level training, still the hands-on training is very much required. But obviously, it starts with the basics, which is available with virtual training right now. Because of the pandemic, this availability is also done. And we have different levels of advanced level of training, which can help you to even produce the video what you have seen. That whole test project can be produced by engineer, any of you. We have similar setup for prototype modeling and also for the car painting. If anyone interested with the skills, we can give that details later. And the support that we give for this skill development presently for the youth, for the new revolution and the new world skills, we have this training lab setups for mechatronics, which is equivalent to world skills, and also for prototype modeling and car painting. These infrastructures are equivalent to the world skills. So world skills is something international industry standards follow. So I must say we have international industry standard equipments into our lab for a training. And our contestants has been trained from the Japan experts every year for all the skills. We also train the contestants on the body and mind, which will help them to give a good stamina and stable mind to work with the competition scenario. We have world skills experts also in our area, prototype modeling from Bhaskar Singh and mechatronics myself. We have been representing in international forum from 2015. We already have given a training for Thailand, Taiwan and Japan, the international contestants into our location. And domestically, we have given training for Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh and other states. We also gave training for Christ University, C.V. Raman University, GTTC and many others. They come here for specialized training on automation and also on world skills. We certify the participants who comes for the training. TKM also provides different programs like industrial training program, on-job training, webinars on different contents, short-term courses, and also the world skill training. And if you would like to participate in this, we can get them advertised in the company website. If you are interested, we can also send the link personally to you. And there are flyers and the basic informations everywhere into social media. So you can participate in any of these programs. If you could not get aware of any of this, you can also personally contact any of these people for any of the trainings if you are interested. So there is a website you can go through to understand more about this. That is all we conclude today on this session. Thank you all of you for listening to me so patiently. I would like to just see if there is questions in Q&A that can be answered. I request everyone to post your doubts on the chat box so that we can answer. Some of them have done and it's been answered already. So I request attendees, if you have any doubts, please drop your questions in the chat box. ಮತ್ತೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. I'm sharing. ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡಿ. I shared again. There are no questions. Conclude ಮಾಡಬಿಡ್ಲಾ? ಹೌದಲ್ಲ? I hope the attendees have got some information about automation, mechatronics, and world skills. Please put up your doubts if you have any. If not, then I must say that I explained it very well, or something that nobody could understand. Any of this. Just jokes apart. Some of the Q&A has been attended. We are waiting if there is any other doubts that need to have a clarification, then we'll wait. Okay. Yes, there are some active questions that I can see here. There's someone who is asking for training the world skills. We want to pay the money or fee, or it's free. Sir, sorry, there's no name displayed here, but I would like to answer you. For training specifically for the world skills, there is paid-based training from Toyota Kirloskar Motor available. Free trainings are presently not being organized, but if you qualify for the different competition levels like state level and the district level, the states and the government sponsor the training. So your participation can help you out to get the sponsored training. So please try to see how you can be part of this. So every state is giving the competition, and if you need more knowledge about participation, please contact me. I will tell you and guide you how to participate in district and state level, because if you win in the state sponsors the training. They give the fees that what we demand for. And there is a next question. In district level, pneumatics are enough as a mechatronics registered candidate? Yes, in district level, pneumatic knowledge is more enough to qualify, because this all selection process happens 1 year before the competition. World skill happens every 2 years once, and all the selection happens 1 year before. So we will not see the complete knowledge about the candidate to participate. We'll only see the basic knowledge. If we have a good basic knowledge, or if we have a little knowledge also, a logic mind, a good IQ, we pick the candidates and we train. That is why we have this whole setup of a training in TKM. So for district level, the pneumatics is enough. From Tirumala Engineering College, I'm very thankful that this information was helpful for you. And this course, what I'm talking about, are not the free courses, they are payable courses. Once again, I would like to repeat, the world skill courses can be sponsored by state and the central governments if we qualify for the district and the state level. So your participation for the district level with the basic knowledge of the contents that I explained before, pneumatics, electrical wiring, if you know these contents, you can participate by your own. And if you get qualified, you can be sponsored by the government. I think many of you had the same doubts, and I guess it's been answered. So Mr. Dinesh has been asking, when are these programs going to start? Yes, we have scheduled program of all of these, but we execute the program according to the batches and the registrations. So if you are interested in any of the program, please contact us. We will let you know when the immediate batch will be conducting, so that we can help you out to participate in the immediate batch. So Pawan Kumar is asking for internship program available in TKM. Yes, we have the internship program available in TKM, but I think there is lots of other things that we have to look over. That is what content and where and how it happens and stuff. So those details I can share with you. Please contact me. I will share you the details about the internship in TKM, and it is available in TKM. So Mr. Anonymous, I cannot see the name, but he's asking, what is the major challenge for Industry 4.0 adoption? Very good question. Yes, there is a lot of challenge in Industry 4.0 adoption. The first challenge is the establishment of this networking has been not into the same form or the same standards. See, as I told you, Industry 4.0 is not new. All technologies that we had before in Industry 3.0 are again in 4.0, but they are into same network now. They are going to connect each other, communicate with each other. If someone have to communicate and speak to each other, obviously we should know the same language, right? But till now, all these machines, what we've been produced, automation machines, were all produced in a different language, different method of communication, between networking. Now, when I want those machines to speak to each other, then I have to put them in the same platform, same language. So putting them, all these machines, already built up machines, converting them into the same language, same networking is the biggest challenge that every industry is facing. Because already everyone has invested so much to build up this big network and big in automation stations. Now, if they have to come with another network which is common for the another machine, then they have to rebuild everything. That is a major challenge. And along with that, we also face the challenge of safety. When everything is in the cloud, then anybody can access the cloud. So providing safety for the data is also a very big challenge that we see in Industry 4.0. And I guess in future, we are going to get a solution for this. And in coming decade, we are going to see Industry 4.0 as the best implementation. And some of here is asking how to participate in this. Yes, the participation of this competition starts with the district level in your state. There will be an announcement for district level in your state. If you clear the district, you go on for the states. And if you clear the state level, you'll go for a regional level. From regional, you go to nationals. This is how the flow happens, like usually how sports other competition happens. But if you do not get aware about the district competition in your state, there is another way out to participate. That's called track 2 participation. These are for the participation of the students who missed to participate in the state levels. So track 2 competition is also conducted. I request whomsoever want to participate, please contact me. I can list your participation in track 2 participation and let you through this in competition. So in district level competition, there's someone want to know, do we need to complete the whole project? So let me tell you, this whole project of the video that I have shown you, that is the International World Skill Competition project. That is when you have to do when you go for international competition. Obviously, you need not to do so much in different levels. In district level, we will only just check your basic knowledge on pneumatics and electrical wiring. If you know all those, we'll give you a small test with a small questionnaires with equipments. If you work on that and if you do well, then we ourselves train you to work on these big stations and projects. So initial levels, you need not to do so big projects. And criteria for participating in World Skills. So to criteria is only 2 things. One, the age. The age limit is 22 for all the skills and 25 for mechatronics. Another, your interest to participate. That's it. If you are interested and if you have age limit, you can participate in any skill. And as I said if your states is announcing the competition, you can participate in that. If you're finding it difficult that your states are not announcing competition, please contact me. We have track 2 competition also for the candidates to participate. There's someone who want to know the procedure to apply for this course. The procedure is very simple. Please drop us a mail or contact us on our phone. Tell us your interest to participate in which skill or which course you want to participate. So if please contact to the mobile numbers or the mail IDs that you have. I think I have shared a mobile number with you all while I was sharing the link for this webinar. Please contact me and please drop your interest for any course you want. I shall give you all the details for this. While sharing the webinar link, I have shared the link through my mail ID and I have mentioned the mobile number at the end. Those are my contact details. Manoj, please look into this. My contact details are already available. Please contact for any courses if you are interested. The mail IDs are the one through which you have linked the link through you could participate. See, some of us want to know the amount that you need to join this course. That depends on what course you opt for. I would share all these details to you. Please ping me through mail or call me. I will share the cost details for each training. So students, someone is asking, can students get any practice school? I understand by this practice school in the sense you want to know a practical test or the practical area where you can practice, right? Yes, I must say we have the practice school right now here in Bangalore. So anybody interested for the courses will be taken into this practice school for week or 2 weeks, and depending on what course you offer, then the practice will be given for them. The skills that we train is based on third revolution and fourth revolution. Yes, we have third revolution and fourth revolution related skill training in TKM. Third revolution, we have automation, high standard automation training. And fourth revolution, we have a training on the new technologies that adopted in a fourth revolution. But we do not have a training on artificial intelligence, but we have a training on the other technologies which are related to manufacturing unit. So third revolution and fourth revolution trainings are available with us. So to apply for the district level, once again, I'm repeating the same thing. Please look into handouts that you spread around the state competitions. There will be announcement in your state about the competition through social medias or through news or whatever form they adopt for. If you find it difficult to track, please contact me individually. I will help you out to participate into the competition. To apply for training in Toyota Kirloskar, please revert to the mail and to the mobile numbers that is been provided to you during this webinar. I shall reply all of you immediately regarding any questions that you have about this. I guess I have answered all the Q&A seen till now. We'll wait for 2 more minutes and see if there is any doubt still arriving. So there's someone who is asking if there is a job opportunities for these courses. I would like to say there is no directly job or the confirmed job opportunities that we say that we provide after course. We are only providing the technical course for the students, but I can say this is a course that is so much demanded into industry that if you get certified for such course from Toyota, you'll obviously add and star to your curriculum, to your resume, and that can help you out to get a better job into the field. So we cannot guarantee you directly the job from this course, but definitely it will add a very good mark to your resume to apply for the different courses or the different jobs into this field. And through these revolutions, you can see how important this field is. So obviously there are people searching for the people who work on these special automation units. And if you go with a certification of such course, and obviously you will be observed before anybody else. So someone is saying is interested to participate in training program. Please drop me mail about your interest because I'm not able to get your name or any details with this. So please drop me your details to a mail ID and your interest to which program. I shall immediately reply you with all the details. Later you can decide how you can participate for that. As I said we also have a virtual training, so we can start with a virtual training right now. The duration of this course varies. It starts from 2 days till 3 months. Different courses for the different duration. So it starts from a basic where you have only 2 days of a training. We also have a webinar like our based training of webinar. Then we have a 2 days training. We have a 5 days training, 8 days, 20 days, and even 3 months. So there is a different duration of a training courses available. That depends what course you want to opt or what pre-knowledge already you have. On that basis also we can opt for it. The training location is presently right in Bangalore. It's not available in AP. It's available in Bangalore, and I assume that is not very far place to reach for AP. But due to pandemic, presently, if it is difficult to reach to the locations, we also have virtual trainings available. So I would like to repeat my answer again. The job opportunities, we cannot talk about that. This is not the right field or the right forum to give that information. But still, I would say we are only providing the technical training for the students, which can add as a supplementary certificate to the very best revolutionary subject, which will definitely add a very big star to your resume, and you can get a good job into the market after this training. That I would say that, but we cannot directly comment anything that about job in Toyota. I can share the fee structure for the courses, but I must know which courses you are interested with. So please drop me a mail. I will share the details. So I have got a mail ID. Yes, Reddy San. I will contact you. I'll send you the details. I'm getting a lot of mail IDs mentioned asking for the details of the training. So I shall send the details for these mail IDs.
Praveen Sen, we can end the event, right? Bhagyashree Sen, the event is ended. Huh? Hello. Bhagyashree, event end हो गया क्या? Yeah, event is ended.
I haven't not ended yet. There was some issue. I got disconnected. I rejoined now.
Okay. Shall I end it?
Yes, sir. I think we can end.
Done,
Thank
right?
you everyone for listening. We'll end the session now.